Namo Buddhaya, Namaskar. In the last episode, we talked about the first part of the teaching of the Buddha in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, which was the first preaching given by him at Isipatan Saranath before his 5 selected disciples. We spoke about what is the middle path. The second part of the teachings of the Buddha is 4 noble truths. What are those 4 noble truths? The first noble truth is that this life, which seems very enjoyable, is full of pains. The second noble truth says that there is a reason for pain. It's not that without any reason the pain is there, suffering is there in the life. And third, what is the cause of the suffering? That the Buddha expounds in the third noble truth. And the fourth, what is the way out to get out of this suffering? So these are the 4 noble truths. If Buddha had only told about the suffering and not the solution, not the reason why the suffering came, and also not prescribed the medicine as a good doctor does, then people won't have accepted his teachings. But Buddha not only told that the life is suffering, that is, he told about the disease, he also told the reason of the disease, how to get out of the disease, and prescribe the medicine by which, following which, we can get out of the suffering in life. Now, how is this life full of miseries and suffering? Buddha says that the birth is suffering. Yes, the child is helpless. If the child is not taken care of by the parents, he won't survive even for a day. So in the childhood, the child is helpless. When he grows up, becomes young, he has to struggle all throughout the life for his survival. When he becomes sick, he becomes old, and one day he passes away from this world. So all this is part of suffering. This type of struggle he has to undergo all throughout life. Buddha gives the example of a bird flying in the sky. He says that the period for which we see the bird, the shadow of the bird, that is the period when we can say that we get happiness in life, and the rest of the period is the period of miseries, suffering. Or the other example is given of a night fly. The period for which it glows is the period of happiness. If we look around in the nature, then also we find that there is suffering all around. The nature has very cleverly put the thorns also when it has made the flower of roses. We see that the ants are eaten away by spiders. They are in turn eaten by the lizards. Lizards are eaten by the snake. Snake is eaten by the eagle or peacock. Small fishes are eaten by big fishes. Big fishes are eaten by the human beings. So one is being murdered and in turn is again being murdered. So this type of struggle for survival is going on in the nature. We look at the farmer. In the heat of July, he keeps on goading his oxen to work, not knowing that they are not willing to work. And thus, everywhere there is pain and suffering. What happiness appears is like this. Suppose we have some worms, some itching is there. Now if we scratch it, we feel good about it. But we keep on scratching and we find that the blood will come out. In the process we find that we are enjoying, but we are not enjoying, we are really suffering. Or look at a bone. A dog may be trying to chew it. It keeps on chewing it and in the process hurts itself. The blood comes out, the salty blood gives its taste and it starts enjoying. But there is hardly any enjoyment. The dog has hurt itself. So this is the way whatsoever we call as happiness in life is actually part of miseries and suffering only. Now, what are the causes of suffering? Why it comes? This is visible, this is evident in the second noble truth, which is the truth of why there is suffering. We'll talk about it in the next episode. Till then, Namo Buddhaya. Thank you.